Hello, Internet. About 9 months ago, I built this Geode Cliff Terrarium, and I'm going to walk you through some of the steps that I did to do it. Additionally, I'm going to show you some of the tips and tricks for training your moss, and some of the mistakes that I made. I made this prior to kind of starting the channel. It was actually probably closer to a year ago, actually, if I recall correctly. I only recorded it to show a friend of mine how to make them. And that kind of inspired me to make the channel. When I first did it, this moss trail here was not there. I started training that about 3 months ago, so it doesn't take a whole year to do that. I could have just planted it there to begin with, but I didn't want it there. And a Reddit comment thread rather asked how people train their moss, so I figured since I didn't actually do anything with this one for the channel, I could do that and show you all how. I'll make sure to add some gravel at the bottom. That creates the drainage so that excess water has a place to pool and it doesn't get stagnant, which causes putrefaction. It's a buildup of anaerobic bacteria that will make it smell like a sewer, and it's kind of hard to bounce back from that. Kind of flatten it out. With it being different sizes and stuff, it's not the easiest. Making a little slope up front. Then you tend to take a barrier. It's just a piece of plastic that I punctured some holes in. Obviously, for people that spend money, there's better ones available. Place it in. And it doesn't have to be perfectly sized. As you can see, it's not. This is a square container with a rectangular barrier, but that's okay. Doesn't really matter, as long as it covers most of it. Gravel on top just to weigh it down. So, after we put that in, then we want to do a thin layer of some of the substrate. Lay in some of the larger pieces. Angle that a bit better. Spoon it in. This is too big. I find it funny that I actually have tools for this, but I just don't use them. Nestle that in a little bit. So then we take some more of the substrate in. Start piling that in the back. I can do some brushing from the front. Brush to the back. Oop. Pushing it down in the front. Okay, we have a different type of cosmetic sand. Add some texture. And just let that fall as it may. Get some curved tweezers, tend to help. I like to see the moss when people are doing stuff with it. So what I'm gonna do with it is kind of frame stuff, pack it down a little bit around the actual shape of the items. What angle do I get? Oh, that didn't work. This is so fucking hard on camera. Need to get a little bit more this patch. Some other aesthetic things that we're going to be doing. Because it helps facilitate some fake scale. And so that's kind of what it's going to look like up close to it. Kind of looks like that. And I guess now it's time for my favorite part, which is adding the springtails. And those are little barely above microscopic critters that fucking eat mold and stuff and decaying matter. So we're gonna pour those in. Doing little springtail things. Close the container. Yeah, this is not a good jar for camera shit. Alright, so now that we're back, what you'll notice is some of this moss is growing up. I don't know, man. I don't really have the best film equipment, so it's kind of hard to show you. Hopefully I can zoom in. So what we're going to do is we're going to trim it and then compact it back down. So, trim. And I'm going to be cutting it kind of more than once so that we get multiple, don't kill the springtail, so we get multiple little cuts. That's kind of how I got this whole thing going. I started trimming up top and I would brush it down. Additionally, you'll notice that there'll be little spores of moss around as it branches out. So what we do with those is we just pluck them and replace them. So that can happen either from the moss going, spreading through its reproductive cycle, which you'll see the little sporophytes for. And those are pretty obvious when you get them. The more likely reason that you get stuff like this is when you trim or when it spreads. But when you trim, sometimes you'll leave stuff on your scissors or tweezers and stuff and kind of inadvertently place it in a location that you don't want. And even now, like there's some along the glass that I can't really get to. So now that that's been trimmed, I'm gonna push it down, get it off the rock. And it's already made it all the way to the edge, so kind of pushing it around. And kind of the same for this stuff here. Since I don't really want it to move forward, but it's not ready to trim, I'm just gonna brush it back. Now, it does have a tendency to come through this area here. So I want to brush that back. It's also, oh, hello little springtail. It's also how, or why I eventually added some rocks there. Don't want it covering that rock. And so basically what we're doing is we're manicuring it, slowly but surely. And it's actually pretty soothing and relaxing. If anyone's still here, you'll no longer see the gray cat that's appeared in some of my videos. Clevis has unfortunately passed on. He was exhibiting the stages of late-stage kidney failure one evening. Kind of knew it was beyond saving, but I figured, okay, I can take him to the vet in the morning, see if there's anything they can do. I know they can't. They'll just tell you, okay, we can either put him down, or you can go through extremely expensive and painful dialysis treatment that the cat won't understand, be scared about, and die anyways. And then at about 2:45 in the morning, he passed on. I was doing everything I could to make him comfortable. I'm not going to get into the nitty-gritty of how I did that, but as a medical worker, I had some good ideas. So, that is that. Sucks to suck for me. Yeah, you can't really 100% see this, but I'm pushing it back down around this geode cliff in the back. It's not 100% necessary. And actually, sometimes I do let it grow up and over. I think that looks kind of cool too. But the way that I keep it maintained is I push it down, let it grow up, push it down, etc. And springtails are running around. The other cats are running around. So, I would say that this is a success.